And you deserve that, and we're going to help you guide yourself to the point of finding that empowering alternative for you as well. That's how you create the change that's lasting. And I will tell you that even in her study, after 8 years, some people backslided. That was an average time. Backsliding doesn't mean it doesn't work. What these people were missing, though, is the 5th step that I want to share with you. And that is they never really conditioned the change so it would last. You and I have to remember so much of us, as we said earlier, is an automatic pilot. So much of our body movements, our breathing, our eating, we don't think about a lot of it. And so what we're going to do is show you how to reinforce these new patterns till they're in your nervous system. We're going to use the science of neuroassociative conditioning to show you how you can have the impact in your body so that you will automatically reach for the kinds of foods that support you. You'll automatically desire the kinds of exercise that will be respectful both of your time and of your emotional desires as well. You'll begin to get addicted to the new feelings and to the new behaviors so that they're automatic instead of constantly being in a battle between what you used to do and what you want to do today. That kind of conditioning can work because anything you reinforce enough will remain a conditioned pattern when you're done. We're going to show you how to make that happen. And finally, the 6th step, we've got to get yourself to test it so you know it works. And the best time to test it is right while we're doing the conditioning. You don't want to wait and check it out a few weeks from now. So we want to put you in environments where you normally would be tempted to eat certain foods or normally tempted not to follow through on the commitments you've made. And you'll be able to show yourself that, hey, I'm doing this automatically now. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to force myself. It's part of who I am. And that is when you'll achieve that experience called the body you deserve, because it won't just be something that happens for the short term, but something you'll experience for a lifetime. And I want to warn you in advance, we're going to do some pretty outrageous things to help you break your patterns here. And myself and your co-coach, Dr. Nate Booth, who's helped me to put together this program, we're going to guide you through taking some actions maybe you're not used to. But remember, successful people do what the failures won't. And if you really want to get new results, you've got to be willing to try new things. This program is proven, and it works. You've committed the energy and the time and the capital to have this program. You're still watching me, so I know you're committed. So let's make this a set of steps that you take that guide you not only to take control of your body, but maybe your mind, your emotions, and your spirit. Something that takes your life to a new level of quality. Because that's what it's really about. It's not just about your body. It's about living your dream. And finally, I just want to say to you that I hope you'll enjoy the process of doing this program together with us. Because so many people in life are always trying to make something happen and force it to happen. And I got to lose this extra pound. And let me weigh myself. And how much progress I've made today? Have I succeeded or have I failed? That kind of attitude will get you to link pain to creating change. What you want to do is love change. You want to be like a kid and get curious about yourself. Every day, you're going to learn a little bit more about yourself. Emotionally, not only physically. What makes you tick a little bit? And that information can help you to make your relationships better. That information can help you to be better at your work. It can help you just to enjoy your life more. So get curious, get playful, have some fun with me here. And let's not just make the change. Let's make a quality of life happen for you that you've always desired and deserved. And we're going to talk a lot about deserving because inside, you've got to begin to know that you deserve to have your life at the highest level. You deserve to have the vitality and energy, the physical power that comes with the body you deserve. So turn off this video and let's get started immediately. Listen to audio tape 1 and I'll look forward to visiting with you there. Till then, remember to live with passion. Hi, welcome to day 7. I'm assuming this is day 7 for you and you're not cheating and moving ahead on the videotape here. Seriously, I want to just congratulate you on the progress you've already made. So the purpose of this tape is just to be a very quick morning exercise for your mind. See, how do you develop a good body? You don't go in and do aerobics one time and say, okay, now I'm healthy for life. What you do is you go in and you develop a consistent system so that you're physically vital for the rest of your life, and it becomes how you think and how you feel. So what I've designed this little 6-minute segment to do is really designed to help you to do a couple of very quick things that can get you started in the morning in the right way, to tune up your mind and your emotions and your body so that you're on track and you're not having a battle with yourself, but rather you're on a roll. So what are those? Well, I'm holding one of them. We're going to teach you a system we call QUISP, QSP, kind of a weird set of words. It stands for Questions, Swish, and Physiology. Now, what do these things mean? Well, as we talked about so far, what human beings do is purely based on the state that they're in at that moment in time and the way they've conditioned themselves to respond to different states. For example, when you're in a frustrated state, you're going to behave differently than if you feel like you're really excited or really happy or really alive or really grateful. When we're feeling really grateful, we don't snap at people. We don't snap at ourselves. We don't reach for a cigarette usually in those moments. We don't go drink something or have something to eat necessarily in those moments unless those are conditioned patterns. So what we want to do is change the way we feel. And one of the most powerful ways to change the way we feel is by changing what we focus upon. You recall we talked about whatever you focus on, you'll feel. If right now you want to feel lousy, it's real easy to do. All you have to do is think of something that once happened in your life that felt bad, remember it again in detail, and you feel lousy all over again. Some people say, I don't have to wait. I feel bad enough today. I don't have to think about my past. Or other people think of things that haven't even happened yet, and they feel bad about it in advance. Not very bright. At the same time, we can feel good just by changing what we focus on. You could think of something that made you feel really good in the past and remember it in enough detail you could feel it again. You could, if you really wanted to, start to notice things that are happening around you right now, things that you're grateful for, things you're happy about, and feel connected to that feeling, and I promise you your behavior will change in those emotional states. Or you could think of things that haven't even happened yet and feel good about it in advance. How do we change our focus? Well, we can do it by trying to force it, by doing affirmations going, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, but that rarely works. Brain goes, BS. In order to get ourselves to really change our focus, we've got to change the questions we ask ourselves. One of the most potent discoveries I ever made in my life was that our thinking is controlled by the questions we ask ourselves. Every moment you're alive, consciously or unconsciously, you're constantly asking and answering questions. What should I do? What does this mean? What are they thinking? What am I thinking? What's going on here? Is that true? All these questions are going by so fast we're not even aware of them. The problem is, many of us have habitual questions that keep us from succeeding. Because ask and you shall receive, right? So sometimes we ask questions like, how come I always screw myself up? Well, you may not be screwing yourself up, but if you ask a lousy question, you're going to get a lousy answer. If you say, how come I can never lose weight? Your brain is going to come back and say, because you're a pig, right? I mean, you got to ask a better question to get a better answer in your life. So one of the things that we want to do is start out each morning by asking better questions. When you wake up and you're in the shower, you're shaving, you're asking questions. You might be saying, well, how come I have to get up? Why do I have to do this? Those are lousy questions. How come I get to do this? Or what do I want to make out of this day? Those are better questions. But I developed a series of questions that I want to invite you to use throughout this program, maybe for the rest of your life. Maybe you'll change them. And you're going to see them up on the screen next. First question I always ask is, what am I really happy about in my life right now? Now, you might say, well, nothing. And sometimes my brain says nothing. I'm frustrated, I'm upset. But when your brain says nothing, say, well, then what could I be happy about if I really want to be happy about something? And as you do this, don't just go, well, I'm happy because I'm alive. You've got to get associated to what it is you're happy about. What I mean by that is really think about it. Follow up, what am I happy about with, why does that make me happy? And how does that make me feel? When you get associated to those feelings in your body, you'll light up. In a state of happiness, I can promise you, you're going to behave differently than a state of frustration or anger or overwhelm or depression or whatever other feelings people tend to often find themselves caught up in. This is a good question. Second question, what am I really excited about in my life right now? We all want to be excited and passionate. We don't want to just make it through the day. So each morning, start out with what you're excited about. Load the system. Load your computer with that information, with that feeling. Once you get into a feeling state, by the way, you tend to get on a roll. It's kind of like if you've ever been, pulled over on the side of the road or somebody's cut in front of you, let's say, while you're driving on the freeway, and you get all upset, and 10, 15 minutes later you think it's over, but you're still kind of stirred up. You get to the office, somebody says, how's it going? You go, fine. You're still got a little part of that residue of that emotion going, a momentum. We want to create positive momentum in our lives. We want to build those emotional patterns into every day. We want to make them habits. So go through the rest of these questions. They're right there on the card. You'll see them on the screen. And as you answer the questions, get associated feeling. That is step one to your mental aerobic each day.
Take this time to answer each of the morning questions. Make sure you answer each question before you go on to the next. Give yourself the gift of emotionally experiencing each answer fully. What am I most happy about in my life now? What about that makes me happy? How does that make me feel? What am I most excited about in my life now? What about that makes me excited? How does that make me feel? What am I most proud about in my life now? What about that makes me proud? How does that make me feel? What am I most grateful about in my life now? What about that makes me grateful? How does that make me feel? What am I enjoying most in my life right now? What about that do I enjoy? How does that make me feel? What am I committed to in my life right now?